Hey guys, my name is Darrian P. Mack, and we're here at a secret event to learn more about Far Cry New Dawn.
I'm Jean-Sébastien Descamps. I'm creative director on Far Cry New Dawn.
And so in this game there are two different factions, and you've got the survivors and you have the highwaymen. Can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind those factions?
On the survivor side, they want to ensure that the next generation will be there, focused on farming, whereas the highwaymen, they live for the day. And if you're in their way, it's going to go very, very wrong.
For them, what really inspired us is that the world is very harsh, and they wanted to survive. They wanted to be the top dog in this world, the top of the food chain. So for them, what really was important is that they needed to build this brand. People hear the name Highwaymen, they are already getting scared. So that's where their motorsport gear comes in, and it made sense in the context. So visually, as you play the game, as you level up, they're wearing more and more protection and gear on them. And then there's also the graffiti in the world that really gives them their strong visual identity. So wherever you go in the world and you see that graffiti, you see them, you know that this is our territory, don't come in here. They're really trying to instill fear in the people.
Xylon is a graffiti artist, and he has a knack for doing images that seem very nice and sweet, but if you look at the detail, it's actually very harsh and cruel, how the highwaymen represent themselves to the others.
And the twins specifically, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like a departure from a lot of the villains that we've seen in the past. Can you talk a little bit about how that came about?
It's been a while that we wanted to find a way to have a female villain in Far Cry.
We knew we wanted to have a female villain, and we knew we wanted them to be twins. This really creates a different kind of familial dynamic. In the past, it's always been kind of one-on-one in cinematics, like just player versus one sort of towering figure. We really wanted to see what happened if there were two. Mickey and Lou are going to be really, really exciting. They imparted a lot of their kind of nihilistic philosophy onto the highwaymen, here for a good time, not a long time. Whereas the survivors live to survive till tomorrow, these guys live for today. That's it. That's their philosophy. And they do that by being peacocks, essentially having a party and not really caring who gets in the way. I don't want to give away too much, but I really think New Dawn is going to exhibit them in the best way.
In addition to kind of seeing these new villains, there's a lot of changes.
First, there is the makeshift approach. You're going to gather materials and craft elements. It's super important. Nothing has been released from a factory for 17 years, so you have to make do with what you have.
They got to scavenge the world, collect resources, and really have to be creative with how they use that. So whether it's for shelter, how they build their homes, how they survive, how they're collecting water, how they're growing their plants, and same thing for vehicles and weapons, and that's something that we're really excited about, is this makeshift approach.
And then there is the home base. We wanted like a place that could be the reflection of your progression, a place that could become full of life and much more interesting, and in the same time giving back to you by helping you on upgrading your gear and stuff like that. So the prosperity home base is also super important. And as a third point, I would say it's the expeditions. The idea that this time we don't have a fantasy that's just locked into one place. We could visit the whole world, because the whole world has been impacted by the global nuclear apocalypse. So we decided to visit some places in the US, especially places that would feel drastically different from Hope County. So like California, the Bayou, stuff like that.
So, in the beginning we were doing a lot of research, and we knew we wanted a signature weapon for Far Cry New Dawn. And with the whole makeshift approach, we were looking at different materials and different elements. And then when we came across the saw blade, it was just perfect. Everything made sense. And then as designing the weapon, we were looking at everyday elements that people are used to. So, an electric saw, the saw blade, motorcycle handles, everything came in perfectly, the bike chain, and it just made a weapon that made sense. And also we fell in love with the design of it.
And we are in the process of building it. And the people that helped us for that, they said that if we had given them like 3 or 4 more weeks, it would have been properly functional.
Not to spoil this for our audience, but Far Cry 5 has a very specific ending with the kind of the end of the world, or possibly beginnings of nuclear war. How did you take that moment and then build from there?
I really love to start with world first. So we actually looked back to the history of our world. What happened in the last 200 years in terms of disasters, in terms of wars, in terms of nuclear issues? What happened to the environment, to the weather patterns, to the wildlife and the population? And we created our own model.
The narrative team did a lot of research. We spoke to meteorologists who specialize in the kind of aftermath that could happen after such like a worldwide nuclear cataclysm. We know what human beings would go through from year 1 to year 17, put ourselves in their shoes, especially for people who went through it firsthand.
So for us, it was really important. We didn't want to build the end of the world. We really wanted to build the beginning of a new one, something that was really refreshing and different and unique. after 17 years, a lot goes on, and desertification is something that actually does happen. But we want to take that one step further, and we looked at a real-world phenomenon called super bloom. You could be in a deserted area, so somewhere that's super dry, that's super dead.
A lot of soil dries up, a lot of seeds get mixed up in there, a lot of it gets blown around, and then once the sun and the rain comes back,
after a couple of months of really intense, heavy rains, all of a sudden it happens a super bloom, which is
boom, explosions of new plant life.
Super colorful flowers that are just growing out of nowhere in the desert.
Is it a particular flower that we're seeing in the super bloom?
Yeah. So the main flower is the verbena, and that's where all this beautiful pink color comes from. We knew we wanted to be a colorful and vibrant world, and that's why we wanted to leverage the super bloom as our main identity in Far Cry New Dawn. Hi, my name is Isaac Papismato. I'm the art director on Far Cry New Dawn, and you're watching The Leaderboard.
Hi, I'm Olivia Alexander. I'm a scriptwriter in Far Cry New Dawn, and you're watching Leaderboard.
All right, JS, thank you very much. The game launches on February 15th, and it retails for $40. Awesome. Oh yeah. Okay. One last quick question. We keep having this debate in our office and with our commenters about how to pronounce Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? Where do you fall?
So as a French person, I would say Ubisoft, but Ubisoft is fine. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.